Hey guys, this is Frozen Theme Studios here, and welcome back to another movie review. And today I'm going to be doing a review on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. Sorry, my bad. So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows is the second installment in the Ninja Turtles franchise, the reboot ones from Michael Bay, and it's once again produced by Michael Bay and is directed this time around by Dave Green, same director as Earth to Echo, which is absolutely terrible. It stars Megan Fox, Will Arnett, Stephen Amell, Tyler Perry, Laura Linney, Noel Fisher, Jeremy Howard, Pete Wozek, Alan Richardson, Brian T, Stephen Farrelly, and Gary Anthony Williams, and Tony Shalhoub and Brad Garrett. Yeah, sadly, no more Johnny Knoxville, which why would they not have Johnny Knoxville returning? And so the plot for this movie, well, it's a very complicated plot, but yeah. But here's how I would summarize the story personally. So Shredder is being taken into custody but by the NYPD and is on his way to prison. But in the freeway while he's in prison, this evil scientist named Baxter Stockman hires the Foot Clan to break Shredder out of prison and like free him, but before he reaches prison. And so once Shredder has returned, the turtles must come out of the shadows, hence the title, shadows to stop Shredder from just taking over the world. And so Shredder's. So the whole thing with Shredder is that he's out of prison because he is needed by Baxter Stockman to help him create the two mutants named Bebop and Rocksteady, and then Rocksteady. But also at the same time, Shredder is being transported into this alternate dimension, which is apparently the home of the main villain of the movie, Krang, who wants. Shredder to collect a mutation that has been separated all over has been separated. Two of them in New York, like some of them in New York, and one in Brazil. So they must collect all the mutation to open this portal which Krang uses to take over the world. So now the turtles must be able to stop this whole big evil plan alongside alongside April Vert and new character Casey Jones, who was the cop driving Shredder to prison and is the victim of this whole escape custody thing. But during the mission, the turtles get caught by the police, and now our public is able to see them and view them as monsters, and now the world is after the turtles after being revealed to the public, and so now the turtles, April, Vern, and Casey must work together to be able to convince the public that the turtles convince the public to accept the turtles for who they are, so they can have faith in the turtles, so to save the have faith in the turtles for them saving the world. So yeah, there's a lot of plot in this movie. So yeah, that's like the best I can explain. So yeah, when it comes to the first Ninja Turtles movie by Michael Bay, oh boy, it is one of the most hated Ninja Turtles TMNT movie. Yeah, that movie is critically banned. Yeah, so much so that I actually didn't see this coming. Yeah, no one would have thought that there would be a sequel to Michael Bay's Ninja Turtles movie. Now, personally, I don't like the first one anymore. I used to like the first one, but nowadays I think that movie does not age well. Not age well due to a very poor cliche script that focuses way too much the humans other than the Ninja Turtles. It's very unfaithful to the source material. It relies so much heavily cliches. It's annoying and just overall just kind of frustrating. Like I just couldn't care less for it, and not to mention it's rushed as well. It's a completely rushed movie, but I don't hate this movie. I hate that movie because there are some great things about it as well. But yeah, But when it comes to Out of Shadows, now Out of Shadows also was almost as critically panned as the first film. Thankfully, the critics do prefer this one slightly more than the first, but it's nothing. But the first one did make some decent amount of money at box office. Unfortunately, this one flopped so hard, and I mean so hard that Ninja Turtles 3 was cancelled, which is sad because I could have wanted to see more of these characters, see more of these characters, and yeah, I still do really like them. I can totally live without a third Ninja Turtles movie. I mean, we even have a reboot that's out right now, and I'm about to see it like very soon. But you know, with two Ninja Turtles movies, it's fine. I mean, at least they agreed to the sequel because there are things that they could improve in this one. And the trailers that did show so much potential. Yeah, when I saw the trailer, I was actually I was actually pretty pumped for this movie because it just looks twice as fun as the first film. That teaser trailer completely sold me by just how fun it looks. How fun it looks. I mean, it looks like the classic Ninja Turtles movie we know and love. It looks like it's bringing all the Ninja Turtles fan service, and the trailer is just a lot of fun. And although yes, I like the trailer came out at the time, but I still like the 2014 Ninja Turtles movie. So no surprise, I was like, oh, it looks really good. But to be honest, guys, not gonna lie, even if I did not like the first Ninja TMNT movie, I still would have been surprised by the teaser trailer for this movie, and would have been like, this actually looks really good. It looks like a massive improvement from the first movie. From the first movie. Yeah. From the first movie, the second trailer was great, but not as good as the first, in my opinion. Like nowhere near as good. And when I saw the movie, I mean, and when I saw the movie in theaters, it actually gave me everything I wanted from this movie. It gave me a sequel that is actually better than the first book, and it's just a lot of fun, a lot of fun, and. And I actually watched this movie more times than I did the first film. Yeah. Then I rewatched the first film, and every time I rewatch it, it's still a great film. It always just holds up. But considering that I always liked the first Ninja Turtles movie from 2014, but then on my recent rewatch, it didn't age well. I was actually worried that the same would happen for this one. I was actually going into this movie. I went into this movie kind of nervous because since the first movie doesn't really hold up, I was worried that this one was not gonna hold up too. That it was still gonna be, that was gonna become like a pretty mediocre movie, mediocre sequel. Even if I always knew it was getting better than the first one. But thankfully, I am happy to report to you all that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows actually holds up as a guilty pleasure. Yeah, this movie is still good. I still like this movie, and it made me very happy that at least we got a Michael Bay Ninja Turtles movie that's actually good. Actually good, yeah, and I'm glad about that. Now, this movie, it might just be the biggest in scale TMNT movie has ever gotten, and that's sort of why I like this movie. Yeah, I mean the other TMNT movies usually they'd have this lighthearted tone to it, and even though TMNT 2007 had a very dark and gritty tone, it still didn't really feel that big in scale. And the action scenes in every other Ninja Turtles movie, including this movie's predecessor, feels very light-hearted, I should say, like small scale. But when it comes to this one, they went for big in scale, and I mean huge. I mean, we've never seen a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie that is just really, really, really huge in scale. I mean massive. I mean there's really big stuff going on. There's a really big story, like a big cast of characters, and especially with the action scenes, like some of the biggest and best action scenes we've ever gotten in these Ninja Turtles movie. It's just a ton of fun from start to finish, and there was not a single boring scene, never a scene where I got bored. Now, when it comes to this as a Michael Bay movie, it actually didn't feel like he interfered with this movie as much as the first movie. Like not like half of the time and like half of the portion of the movie didn't really feel like a Michael Bay. Like it felt like a normal Ninja Turtles movie. But there are still like a lot of instances throughout the film where you still like where it still screams Michael Bay. Like for example, a lot of explosions. Like seriously, Bay thinks he's the next Oppenheimer. Like seriously. Yeah, like a lot of explosion scenes like throughout the like there's in the final battle, which I'll talk about later on. Like it feels just as massive in scale as the first Transformers movie, the final battle, that movie. And then we got opening scene like within the 10 minutes mark where we were specifically the scene with April, like stalking Baxter Stockman, like trying to investigate what he's up to. And then like after that scene, like we see April walking, like sexy walking, like usually like how Michael Bay would make his girls, make female characters walk. And then April just literally just taking off her disguise while walking in such a sexy way and be like, my mind's blown. Sorry if it's cringy. Sorry if it's cringy. Yeah. And not to mention, this movie even included a Bumblebee cameo in that parade scene. Specifically in that parade scene where in the parade scene, where Mikey like watches the parade and tries to join in. We see one of the parade mascots is actually Bumblebee. Like it is actually this actual car who actually transforms into Bumblebee. Yes, it's a very how do I say this? Yes, it's fake Bumblebee. It's not real Bumblebee. It's just a costume. But the fact that it was we saw an actual car and it transformed into a mascot. How did that guy do that? I seriously want to know. That like I've never seen anything like that. Does those things bother the movie at all? Honestly, no. Like, while like with those Michael Bay elements to it, there are actually some Michael Bay elements from the first one that this movie was able to take out. Like for example, no shaky cam. Thank God for that. The action scenes are much better than the first one. They're much cleaner, like more well shot, and they're actually better choreographed. Yeah, you can actually have an easier time following the action that resulting in this movie to like have like such really good action scenes. And I mean this movie features some of the best action scenes in the entire franchise, whether it's the garbage truck chase scene or the police headquarters the fight scene, like chase scene, to the plane fight scene, like the tank fight scene, and that insanely massive final battle. Oh yeah, and also the scene with Casey Jones versus the Foot Clan. Yeah, there is so much action in this movie. Like, I don't remember seeing a Ninja Turtles movie with this much action in it before. Like, so much action scenes. Yeah, it really does feel like the biggest Ninja Turtles movie. And this actually does feel much more like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. Like, the first one, like, that's one of my problems with the first one, is that it didn't really feel like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. Like, barely felt like a Ninja Turtles movie. Yeah, sure, the Turtles were there, but the story, like, was told through April's point of view. So it kind of, like, affected the movie, and, like, because of how the story wanted to be about April, it barely felt like a Ninja Turtles movie, especially focusing way too much on the humans. But in this movie, the point of view of the story is actually on the turtles this time around. Yeah, this is a story about the Ninja Turtles. Like, we don't need April to like be more important than the turtles in this one. So thank God for that. Thank God for that. And the turtles actually had equal screen time than the humans. I wouldn't really say that the turtles had more screen time than the humans. Like. And because the movie does focus on both the turtles and the humans, but this is still about the Ninja Turtles. Like what I said like twice, the story is told through their point of view, And I love the equality of having the turtles and humans, having very equal screen time. I like that, and and I love the character development that was given to the turtles, specifically Leo and Ralph. It's very similar to the one that their brotherhood chemistry in Ninja Turtles 2007, but I think this one did it better. Leo is like this leader who just who he thinks he's a boss, and he wouldn't take ideas from his from the other brothers, and he feels like and he like can't really accept the fact that all the turtles are different, and he just wants everyone to be the same as him. And Ralph is just the guy just feeling jealous of that Leo is the chosen one over him, and he literally refuses to follow what Leo says, and that leads into the brotherly fight. It's very relatable towards me and my brother, since we do fight due to some differences. It's normal for people to fight like that due to their differences. And Ralph will always be my favorite Ninja Turtle. I stand by that, and this movie just sort of solidifies it. I mean, the CGI of the turtles is as great as always, possibly better than the CGI in the first one. And I will always defend the turtles' designs in these movies until the day I die. I don't get the hate for these turtles. Yes, they're big and they look different, but they actually do look really good. And I love this version of it. I can't believe I'm saying this, but coming from someone who really disliked Megan Fox's April O'Neil in the first film, and even just simply the casting choice of Megan Fox as April O'Neil, I actually liked her in this movie. Yeah, no joke. I actually liked Megan Fox in this movie. It's a miracle. Sure, I don't love her. She's not. I don't love her. She's still far from one. She's still one of the weaker April actresses. And my one problem with April in this movie is that she still does that annoying moan, her constant moaning, which is just kind of But Megan Fox's performance is actually an improvement from her dull performance in the first film. Megan Fox actually seemed a lot more invested in her performance. It seemed like she actually cared. She actually cares about her performance. Megan Fox actually cares, and she actually puts effort. This time around, and yeah, no more of that bored face April. Now we got April, who actually seems like she's having fun with her role. Vern is better here than the first role. I'm personally a defender of his character, and I like that he got a little bit more development. Where he started off as this guy taking credit. Everyone thinks he's the hero because there's no one because they can't credit the turtles, since this Ninja Turtles 2014 was in the first film, the turtles never really wanted to reveal their identity. Even if they save the world, they decide to make Vern look like the hero and the Falcon. But even though he's seen as a hero, he's still a nobody for a lot of the movie. But then April convinces Vern to feel the hero that the public thinks it is. Well, that is until later when Vern revealed to the public that the turtles are actually the main reason as to why Vern is the hero, quote unquote hero. And I really like that character development. Yeah. But my personal favorite character in this film has to be Casey Jones. Yeah, I know this is a hot take. A lot of people I know, almost everyone I know, really hates this version of Casey Jones. They say, oh, they ruined Casey Jones. They destroyed his character. But to be honest, I've never gotten the hate for Casey Jones. Yeah, Stephen Amell, is my favorite Casey Jones actor. Yeah, I know Stephen Amell is a very popular actor. He was in a Green Arrow, at the Arrowverse TV show, which started off the Arrowverse. Stephen Amell is such a great actor, and as Casey Jones, I love this approach of Casey Jones. It's actually a little this is actually a different Casey Jones. Casey Jones was just a regular person. We didn't really know his profession, but in this one, I like that they actually like went more in depth into Casey Jones' character. Now he's a cop, and he's the one who took Shredder into custody until they escaped, and he's both a cop and a hockey fighter, where he still like has that same Casey Jones vibe to him, like especially when in that scene where he saved April O'Neil from from we say it from the Foot Clan. I think Casey Jones might be my favorite character in the Michael Bay Ninja Turtles duology. Yeah, how I wish he like if Casey Jones was in the first movie, I would have given it a more generous rating of 5 out of 10. And this is honestly my favorite version of Casey. Yes, even over the original Casey and the Chris Evans Casey from the 2007 TMNT movie. Movie. I do not understand the hate he gets. Yeah, I don't really get the hate for him. Like I don't think I ever will. Yeah, the character himself is just a lot of fun. Bebop and Rocksteady were also great additions in the movie. Like they were arguably the best villains because, boy, do I have things to say about the villains. But I'll get to that like shortly. Not shortly. But Bebop and Rocksteady, they're just so much fun. Their actors were given were like the actors were I mean, the actors seem like they were having so much fun with the performances, and the CGI designs of Bebop and Rocksteady actually looks really good. I gotta say, I think their designs, their CGI is better than the Turtle and Splinter, to be honest. Now, with Splinter, speaking of Splinter, I think this movie is. Yeah, there are actually a few things that this movie does downgrade from the first film, and Splinter is one of them. While I like the Splinter in this one, I think he was a decent character. I think he was not. I think Splinter from the first film is way better. I mean, I miss that like the badass Splinter who fights who literally fights against Shredder, and yeah, I like that Shredder better. Splinter better. Splinter in this movie, all he does is just motivate the Ninja Turtle, make some motivation speech in the Ninja Turtles, but overall it's fun. Yeah. I like the part where he literally meditates for 24 hours just until the turtles just bother him. Like that was actually hilarious. And the comedy in this movie is actually better than the first film. It's actually a lot funnier. It's actually much funnier than the first film, and they avoid no ridiculous humor like that one fart joke. Yeah, I've already mentioned it in my review of the first Ninja Turtles by 40 movie, but there is a fart joke in that movie, and you all know how I feel about fart jokes. I don't even need to say it because it's just ridiculous. So it's just ridiculous. But this one the humor is actually funnier. Casey Jones is hilarious. But probably the scene I laughed at the most in this is when Vern tried to rip out the corner security cameras, but then he kept on ripping out the wall and ripping off the walls everywhere while he's pulling the wire. That scene was hilarious. Yeah, that was by far the funniest scene in the film. Funniest scene in the film. Now, yeah, I talk I talk all about the fun of the movie now, but I still haven't talked about the story yet. So. Now let me ask the question. How is the story in this movie? To be honest, yeah, that's where I'm gonna have to talk about some of the weak stuff in this film. Because the story in this movie is honestly a mixed bag, yeah. But overall, I think the story is just meh. It's not a very good plot. So if you put it all together, the main problem with this movie's story is that it feels like it's just cramming in far too many ideas into one. It feels so crammed into this. Well, I think they made the right choice to make this the longest Ninja Turtle the TMNT movie at 1 hour and 50 minutes. Yeah, 50. I think this movie deserves to be the longest Ninja Turtles movie. I've heard some people say that this movie is too long. No, I don't think it's too long. I think the runtime is just right. It is just right. But when it comes to the story, I feel mixed about it because there's some storylines in this movie that I thought, hey, that's actually pretty good, and some others that are oh dear. So basically, the good part of the story, in my opinion, was when was basically the whole subplot of the turtles going out of the shadows and revealing themselves to the public, but then the public gets disgusted by the turtles and view them as monsters, and so the humans, who, like with April and Casey convincing them, the NYPD must learn to accept that learn to accept the turtles for who they are and trust them that they'll be able to save the world. I like that storyline. I think that storyline is just really good. Yeah, that storyline of just like since there's always been a lot of movies about people just making fun of quote unquote freaks like unusual. So it's really nice is to embrace this the story of acceptance. How, these turtles really need to be accepted by the public. I like that. I like that. And in the scene when the police catches the turtles and refer to them as monsters, you really feel bad for them. I really feel sorry for them, like getting tortured by the police and all that stuff. But however, the problem with the movie, what really affects the plot, is the conflict where the villains must find the missing pieces of the ooze of the mutation to open a portal in order to let strange things enter a world. Yeah, that storyline was pretty much where the movie got way too overstuffed. Yeah, I mean, and it doesn't make sense. There's way too many storylines, with the villain's side. Yeah, Shredder escapes prison. Shredder is hired by Kang to Shredder is hired by Krang. Why do I keep saying Kang? Like it's Krang. I know it's Krang, not Kang. Not Kang, but yeah. Shredder is hired by Krang to find a missing mutation. But at the same time, Shredder is also hired by Baxter Stockman to help him create Bebop and Rocksteady with a mutation, and and the world subplot. There's like so many things going on. It's far too overstuffed. It's a far too overstuffed. And also, I should ask, well, this movie is basically a mix of Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze, and TMNT 2007. Yeah, it feels like a storyline. It's taking the storylines of both Ninja Turtles movies I just mentioned and just combine them into one storyline. That is basically what it feels like. But I think a part of this movie being way too overstuffed has to do with the villains. There are way too many villains. Love Bebop and Rocksteady. I praised them early on in this review, but honestly, they're the only great villains in this movie. Maybe Karai as well, but Karai is never really a main villain. She's just always, but Karai is just always a henchman. But I like Karai in this one. Like I actually do really enjoy her character, especially like her fighting skills in the final battle. But yeah, but the main villain Krang, I understand why he's in this movie. A part of me wants to say that Krang shouldn't have been in this film, but I totally understand as to why he was in this movie. But the problem is that they completely wasted his character. He only got like 2 screen time, 2 scenes of screen time, or maybe 3, but that's pretty much about it. But yeah, he's wasted, and oh my god, don't get me started on this CGI. Like, what is that? I mean, seriously, a brain he's like, it's like literally a shape of a brain, and it's like talking. It's like a talking brain. Like, ugh, it is just, ugh, like I can't stand it. It is like probably the ugliest CGI this franchise has ever seen. Like, and Krang is certainly one of the worst characters in 2016. And as for Shredder, oh boy. If you thought that the first movie did Shredder dirty, oh boy, they did him even dirtier in this one. I like that he got a comic accurate costume. I'll give it that, but he only wore a costume for like 1 second. And also, what's the point of having a Shredder in this movie? I'm having Shredder in this movie. Yeah, sure, Shredder is the traditional Ninja Turtles villain, but it's so obvious that this movie just wanted to throw a Shredder in, just for fans, just for the sake of Ninja Turtles fan service. And yes, by the way, this movie is filled with TMNT fan service in this one, but it's not a bad thing, to be honest. Well, like the fan service in this movie, I personally don't consider it a bad thing. Bad thing, but yeah, back to what I was saying. Like he literally did nothing in this movie besides tell Bebop and Rocksteady what to do, and worse is that he even got killed before the final battle. He didn't even fight anyone. Like, why? But the worst character in this movie has to be Baxter Stockman. Now, I do think behind the man himself, Baxter Stockman can actually do work as a villain. Like I could actually see myself liking Baxter Stockman as a villain. I'm excited. I'm pumped to see him in TMNT Mutant Mayhem, especially with Giancarlo Esposito voicing him, one of the greatest of black actors. And one of my favorite and he's in my top. His character in Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul is in my top 5 favorite characters of both shows. So yeah, I can really see him. Like I think Giancarlo Esposito as Baxter Stockman is a perfect casting choice. But really, this one, Tyler Perry as Baxter Stockman, I'm sorry, but that has got to be one of the dumbest casting choices I have ever seen. Tyler Perry is one of my least favorite actors of all time. Thankfully, he has one good role, which is Gone Girl, even though he's like the weakest part of the movie. But everything else he does is just atrocious. There's a reason why he constantly keeps on winning Razzies. And by the way, I am never gonna watch those Mandela movies. Yeah, those Tyler Perry Mandela movies. Yeah, they're on my list of movies that I personally refuse to go see. Yeah, like Baxter's like having him as Baxter Stockman, it just felt so out of place in his character. And oh my god, the acting in this movie, his acting is just so cringe-worthy, especially with the like my god, what kind of an evil laugh is that? That is just cringe. And Tyler Perry gives by far the worst performance in both of the Michael Bay Ninja Turtles movie. Give me Megan Fox's performance as April O'Neil in the first movie any day over Tyler Perry's atrocious performance as Baxter Stockman. So overall, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows may have its fair share of heavy flaws, but I actually really like this movie and it's such a huge improvement for the first film. While the story is very convoluted, filled with way too many ideas, crammed in with too many villains and yeah, resulting this movie to be quite a mess. It does it is still an overall fun movie, and making this the biggest Ninja Turtles movie in scale was a really good idea. The Turtles were a lot more likable than they were in the first film. Although I will admit, Mikey is still slightly annoying, but not as annoying, nowhere near as annoying as the first film. I mean, April was much better this time around. Fern has more development. Yes, there is more character development in this movie. Bebop and Rocksteady are amazing villains, like really like fun villains. And Casey Jones just steals the entire movie to me. Yeah. And yes, this movie does feel like a proper Ninja Turtles movie. This is like filled with fan service of the highest level when it comes to Ninja Turtles. Yeah, there's like so much fan service in this movie. This is the most underrated Ninja Turtles movie. I don't get the hate for this movie. I feel like people only hate this movie just because they hated the first one. And I'm gonna go as far as saying that this is my second favorite TMNT movie right now, second only behind the original 1990 film, the very first one. But surely, like when I see Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, this is most likely gonna be my third favorite, behind Mutant Mayhem in the 1990s. So yeah, so with that said, I'm gonna give Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows a 7 out of 10. And that's it for all my TMNT movie reviews leading up to Mutant Mayhem. I'm seeing it in 2 days, but I decided to review this movie a little earlier because tomorrow I got other side videos planned up before Thursday, because Thursday is when I'm going to be seeing Mutant Mayhem in theaters. So, but my entire Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles review series is actually not quite done yet. There's like because I am still planning to review the TV show from the Nickelodeon TV show from 2012. So yeah, what is your opinion on this movie? Do you agree with me that this movie is is great and way better than the first film, or do you think that this movie is still not very good despite it being an improvement from the first film, or are you one of those people who who thinks that this is even worse than the first movie? I know some people say this is worse than the first, but I don't see that. I don't get that at all. Or do you actually absolutely love this movie and consider it as one of your absolute favorite Ninja Turtles movie, or maybe even your favorite in general? Favorite Ninja Turtles movie in general? Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for my review of Star Wars Rebels leading up to Ahsoka. And yes, I'm gonna be reviewing Rebels first before TMNT Nickelodeon show. So yeah, bye guys.